was right here all along. I know that love to forgive all the hurt and pain. Love is enough to remove all you can change. Love is enough to make up for what you've made. I know that love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough.
All right. God's love is enough. I say that God's love is more than enough. Greetings and good day, everyone. My name is Oliver Blue, and I am your temporary guide for this session of Truly Foundation and A Course in Miracles. And I am so delighted to be here with you on this last day of September in 2022. And as I sit here, the remnants of Hurricane Ian is passing through North Carolina. So we have a lot of rain and a wind that has been with us all day long. And as I sit and gazed out of the window and watched the rain and the wind, watched the trees as they bend and bow over. And as I was preparing for workbook lesson 188, workbook lesson 208, which is a review of workbook lesson 188. And as I was preparing for this commentary and reading the idea for today and watching the remnants of the hurricane, which is now it's a tropical storm, it could not be more fitting for us to be reviewing workbook lesson 188, which is one of my favorites of all the lessons. That scene to me was so symbolic of the truth that is true always. That the goal, even of this course, the goal of every lesson, the goal of your life, the goal of your inward and your outer experiences, all centers around peace. And this review today is, again, a review of lesson 188, which reads, "The peace of God is shining in me now." And that peace shines continuously, regardless of what may be appearing to be happening all around us. When there is a discovery of the peace that comes from God only, and it shines unaffectedly by any condition, by any influence, by any idea. It just shines, and it just shines. And as I sit there and watch the rain and the wind and listen to the beautiful symphony of that idea, the peace of God is shining in me right now. It quieted all storms. It quieted all illusions. It calmed all fears. It removed all hurt and pain, all anxiety. The peace of God. And so as I sit there in stillness, it was like the whole world sat in stillness with me. All living things sat in stillness with me. So let me go right over there and read some of that. Let me read some of that content in 188. It's so beautiful. It's like a song of heaven. And before I start reading there, I just want to remind us of our central theme for today. And that is, I am not a body, but I am free. I am still as God created me. And so as we turn over to lesson 188, the peace of God is shining in me now. I'm just going to read from it. It needs no explanation. It's like a beautiful symphony. Why wait for heaven? Those who seek the light are merely covering their eyes. The light is in them now. And this is one of my favorite lines in the course. It says, enlightenment is but a recognition, not a change at all. Enlightenment is but a recognition and not a change at all. Light is not of the world. Yet you who bear the light in you are alien here as well. Let me read that again. Light is not of the world. Yet you who bear the light in you are alien here as well. The light came with you from your native home and stayed with you because it is your very own. It is the only thing you bring with you from Him who is your source. It shines in you because its light, it lights your home and leads you back to where it came from, and you are at home. This light cannot be lost. Why wait to find it in the future or believe it has been lost already or was never there? It can so easily be looked upon that arguments which prove it is not there becomes ridiculous. Who can deny the presence of what he beholds in him? It is not difficult to look within, for there all vision starts. There is no sight, be it of dreams or from a truer source, that is not but the shadow of the seen through inward vision. Their perception starts, and there it ends. It has no source but this. The peace of God is shining in you now. And from your heart, it extends around the world. It pauses to caress each living thing and leaves a blessing with it that remains forever and forever. What it gives must be eternal. It removes all thoughts of the ephemeral and the valueless. It brings renewal to all tired hearts and lights all vision as it passes by. All of its gifts are given everyone, and everyone unites in giving thanks to you who give and you who have received. The shining in your mind reminds the world of what it has forgotten, and the world restores the memory to you as well. From your salvation, radiate the gifts beyond all measures, given and returned. To you, the giver of the gift, does God Himself give thanks, and in His blessing does the light in you shine brighter, adding to the gifts you have to offer to the world. The peace of God can never be contained. Who recognizes it within himself must give it, and the means for giving it are in his understanding. He forgives because he recognized the truth in him. The peace of God is shining in you now and in all living things. In quietness is it acknowledged universally. For what your inward vision looks upon is your perception of the universe. So we sit quietly and close our eyes. The light within you is sufficient. The light alone has power to give the gift of sight to you. Exclude the outer world and let your thoughts fly to the peace within. They know the way. For honest thoughts, untainted by the dream of worldly things outside yourself, become the holy messengers of God Himself. These thoughts you think with Him. They recognize their home, and they point surely to their source, where God the Father and the Son are one. God's peace is shining on them, but they must remain with you as well, for they were born within your mind as yours were born in God's. They lead you back to peace, but where they came but to remind you how you must return. They heed your Father's voice, where you refuse to listen, and they urge you gently to accept His word for what you are, instead of fantasies and shadows. They remind you that you are the co-creator of all things that live. The thoughts of God remind you that you are a co-creator of all things that live. For as the peace of God is shining in you, it must shine on them. We practice coming nearer to the light that is within us today. We take our wandering thoughts and gently bring them back to where they fall in line with all the thoughts we share with God. We will not let them astray or go astray. We let the light within our minds direct them to come home. We have betrayed them, ordering that they depart from us. But now we call them back and wash them clean of strange desires and disordered wishes, we restore to them the holiness of their inheritance. Thus are our minds restored with them, and we acknowledge that the peace of God still shines in us and from us to all living things that share our life. We will forgive them all, absolving all the world from what we thought it did to us. For it is we who make the world as we would have it. Now we choose that it be innocent, devoid of sin, and open to salvation. And we lay our saving blessing on it. And we say, the peace of God is shining in me now. Let all things shine upon me in that peace. And let me bless them with the light in me. There's so much richness. There's so much truth. There's so much peace that is within all of us. The peace that seemed to elude us has always been shining brightly where it always been and where God placed it. He placed it inside of you. And when I say inside of you, remember, we are not a body. So peace is not placed within the body. But peace have been placed within the essence of who you are, the nature of who you are. The peace that is shining in us now is the same peace. It's not a different peace, but it is the self-same peace that God is. It is the same extension of the love that God is. And that peace shines like a light, and all living things recognize it. And though we have turned away for a time, but in time we return, for the memory of God has come to all of us, and we turn within. And here is where vision began, and here it where it's in. Because we even transcend vision as we look upon the loveliness that we share. The light gets brighter, more glorious, more splendor. That light, which seemed to be contained, it cannot be contained. And so it is a boundless light. It goes beyond the space that we think we occupy. And so as we close our eyes and we see this light that is within shining in us now, and that light extends to all the world. It goes beyond our awareness of a body. And it feels the very presence in which we sit. It fills the room in which we abide. It goes beyond the walls and beyond this edifice that we find ourselves in, and it goes out beyond the community in which we live and beyond the borders of the state in which we live, and it goes out beyond the borders of the country in which we live, and extends even beyond the globe called Earth in which we appear to be. And it extends out into all the universe, this light that is shining in us now. It is a boundless light, and it passes through all the universe. It passes through all time. It passes through all form, beyond the ephemeral. And it moves and it expands and it extends into what we call the heavenlies. And even the heavenlies cannot contain this light that is shining in us now. And so it indeed does extend from our heart to every living thing. The light is always shining. John picked up on it when he said that God is light, and in him there is, or in her, or in it, there is no what? There is no darkness at all. It's just the light. And to come to know the light is not a change, but is but a recognition. When we come to a place in our present experience where we but recognize that the light is everywhere present, that's an indication that we have removed all the blocks to the awareness of the light. We have removed all blocks to the awareness of love's presence. And we begin to see from what Scripture says, a pure heart. And it says that the pure in heart shall see the light, or shall see God. Not by a change, but by a return to that which is reality. And so today we return from a journey that has no distance, because we realize that we've never been apart from the light. We've never been apart from God. We've never been apart from each other. And so there's nothing to wait for. It says, why wait for heaven? Why? It says, those who seek the light are merely covering their eyes. So in this holy instant, the covering has been removed. The light is in us now, and we recognize it. We are enlightened by it, not by a change, but by a recognition. And now we extend this light to all the world, and we forgive the world for what it thought it did to us. And the peace of God is shining in us now. And so, no, we're not a body. We are free, and free indeed. For I am still as God created me, in stillness. It is in quietness, it is in stillness that we have this recognition that the peace of God is shining in me now. And so, to sum up the lesson for today, we will be still and let the earth be still along with us. And in that stillness, we will find the peace of God. It is within our heart, which witnesses to God itself. I am not a body. I am free. You are free. For we are still as God created us, as the light of the world. So beautiful. I'm not going to add anything to that. I've said a lot. And let us meditate on these things today and apply and accept this idea as our very own, because it is the truth about who you are. It's nothing outside. All has been given to you in creation. All. You have it all. And so let us apply these ideas all day long, that we may experience that peace that passes all understanding. Thank you so much. This is the end of Workbook Lesson 208. It's been my delight to be your coach, your guide, to point you to the peace that is within. Thank you so much. We'll see you on tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.